Record scratch, DJ scratch. Hood up in the thing, swing shining in the back, lean, cover that brown, sick and slow, gotta watch my step, no slack. They see me coming through, know what's about to feel the vibe, ain't about to fight, it's real when I ride. Diamonds on my chest, brass glint in the light, soul in my step, man, it feels so right. Bass rumble deep, something sliding my spine. When the groove hit hard, I gotta put your foot up in it. Back up on it, put up in it, put up in it, put your foot up in it, put your foot up in it. Feel it in your hips, put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. Back up on it, back up on it, put up in it. Put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. Yeah. They talk big and noise, but they ain't in the kitchen. No, watch from the wall, they ain't on the mission. Hot getting hot, gonna act with ambition. Gotta add a spice, soul in the decision. Stir with the left, brick firm with the right. Hold on, rhythm in the step, even late in the night. Get a flavor his deep, made it shine like the light. The haters don't pop, real ones take a bite and they put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. That's right. Feel it in your ears. Put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. Get down, back up on me. Back up on me. Put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. They still don't stop, but I rise above. Rhythm in my blood, man, it feel like love. Don't second guess, I stare with pride. Put in the groove, I'm on this ride. Present days, they testify. Energy lift, reach for the sky. If you feel it too, then don't be shy. When they hit it like this, we all reply. Put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. Just watch it, feel it. Back up from it. Feel it. Live it. Feel it. Rhythm is the answer. Soul is the guide. Put your foot in it. Back go, back go, back go, back go. Just watch it, feel it. Just watch it. Don't just watch it. That go. Everybody, put your foot up in it. Stop it. Put your foot up in it. Yeah. Put your foot up in it. Put your foot up in it. Everybody, put your foot up in it. Stop it. Put your foot up in it. Woo! Back up on me. All they need is stretch. Yeah. He just scratch. Oh, you know.
Yo. Put your foot up in it, man. Yo. That's fire, man. That's fire. Shout out to podcast. That is fire, man. Yeah, what's happening, y'all? How y'all feeling? Man? I'm trying to. I hope everything is all right. I hope it's all right. I'm sorry if I'm looking discombobulated, right? Because I'm sitting here going over. All right, here we go. I think I'm good now. I was having some audio issues on my end. yeah, the stream is kind of like I think it's getting together now. I've dropped all the windows. I think we're okay. I don't have my phone, so I can't see the live feed. So you guys let me know what it looks like. I hit pause there. it's a Friday. It's raining down here. I don't know, man. Things are crazy. Who knows what's going on? But I hope you guys can hear that, man. That was Lost in Translation. One of his latest bangers, man. Put your foot up in it, man. I'm telling you, that brother right there, Lost in Translation, man. That brother right there, man. His music gonna be on Broadway somewhere, man. Like he puts out banger after banger after banger, bro. So yeah, man. I just can't wait to see that brother blow up. Yeah, man. Look at Cody. He's like, Messiah using too much of my data. Hey man, it's because of you, bro. I ain't got no problem with them people over there, man. I ain't got no problem. It's like it's cool, but I can't see it. Again, I forgot to bring my phone up. So we're gonna try. Cody, let me know if it's too laggy, man. Just tell me and I'll stop, and then we'll just do it again later on this evening. I can be back like at 5. If this ain't right, I can come back at 5. But yeah, man. So we're gonna try to get through this, man. I definitely want to talk about the red pill movement. I found the best explanation of the different pills. It was on Medium Man podcast, man. The links are in the description below, man. Make sure y'all get over there and support, because old boy broke it down perfectly, man. He broke it down perfectly. And he did a video about red pill, did a video about blue pill. So we're gonna start red pill. That is doable, huh? It's just okay. Uh it could be me. So this is what we're gonna do just for this real quick. And if you guys are watching this, I apologize. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump out and jump back in. I think that will correct the issue. So just hang in there. Don't go anywhere. I guess I'm just talking to Cody, just me and Cody right now. So don't go anywhere. I'm gonna do this real quick. Double delay. Maybe that did it. Hopefully that did it. Just kind of looking at the audio, what's on. Roadcaster, we're good to go. Maybe that fixed it. I hope it did. I hope that fixed it. When I jumped on, I think I made a mistake on my end. And yeah. So hopefully that fixed it. So appreciate that, Cody, man. Thank you so much, man. I don't know Mandrell was here for seems all right. All right, cool, man. Thank you, bro. So let's show all the chats real quick. Mandrell jumped in there. Like I'm doing off crazy time. So it's kind of like the end of lunch. Think people are still at work. So a lot of folks hopefully will watch this on team replay. But yeah, man. Lost in Translation podcast. That brother has talent. And we have the technology today that will allow you to just 1,000x your skills if you know what you're doing. This is why you got to learn AI. I'm working on that myself, teaching myself as much as I can about artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is here, man. And it's changing the way we do our day to day, man. So you got to stay on top of it. But I want to get into this video. So let me pull it up. Again, this is from the Medium Man. It's funny he calls himself Medium Man, but he's a bodybuilder, bro. Like he does everything else. I'm sure he's probably in corporate, does a bunch of other stuff. Former military. He calls himself Medium. I'm like, nah, bro. Like you're a bodybuilder. But he focuses on data, especially a bunch of data. He debunks a lot of myths within the Black community and within relationships and stuff. I found this brother through Melanie King. She did an episode once. She's like, oh, you got to go over and check this guy out. I went over and checked him out, and I've been rocking with him ever since. He does a really good job of getting numbers out there, setting the record straight. And the focus is on the Black community, but he does talk about dating. And I wouldn't say he's red pill, right? Because I don't think he was ever really rocking with that movement at all. But because he's probably got a lot of hits, people in his community asking questions about it, asking him to look into things. He looks into things. And I mean, he did the most comprehensive breakdown I've seen. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at this breakdown. So you guys are watching this on Team Replay, and Cody's watching it now. Shout out to you. But this right here is like, if you want to know about these different pills, this is the video to watch. And just make sure, if anyone ever asks you about a breakdown on red pill, man, show them the video from Medium, man. The video we're about to watch here, show them this video. So let's get into it, man. This is good information. Here we go.
Do you want to know what it is? It is that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. You have to see it for yourself.
Before I begin, I need to define the language because most people argue against the words they were never taught to understand. The terms blue pill and red pill originate from the film The Matrix. In the film, the blue pill represents remaining in a comfortable illusion, accepting reality as it is presented without questioning it. It represents safety, familiarity, and comfort.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe.
Seeing reality as it truly is, even when that reality is uncomfortable. It is the choice between illusion and observation.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Outside of these terms into shorthand for different ways people interpret social reality. The blue pill represents belief in the social accepted narrative. It assumes attraction and relationships work primarily the way people publicly claim they do, though fairness, good intentions, and the idea that personality and character are what matter most.
This is a Black man who believes what he was told. He believes being kind guarantees attraction. He believes effort creates desire. He accepts the story without questioning the outcome.
The red pill represents awareness through observation and experience. It focuses on patterns of behavior, incentives, and outcomes, especially when those patterns contradict what people publicly say.
This is a Black man who observes patterns. He watches behavior. He moves based on results. He doesn't seek validation. He recognizes it.
The blue pill represents fatalism, the belief that outcomes are largely predetermined and that effort has limited influence, often leading to withdrawal and resignation.
This is a Black man who believes the outcome is already decided. He stops trying because he believes effort doesn't matter.
The purple pill represents a middle ground, acknowledging that some red pill observations are accurate while also recognizing that human behavior is complex and not reducible to rigid rules.
This is a Black man who understands both the story and the reality. He listens, but he also observes.
The white pill represents optimism and agency, focusing on self-improvement, adaptability, and the belief that individuals can improve their outcomes regardless of their starting point.
I never heard of white
This is
pill.
a Black man who focuses on what he can control. He builds himself, regardless of the outcome.
Over time, the red pill metaphor also gained a more specific framing. Rollo Tomasi defined the red pill not as an ideology, but as a praxeology, a framework rooted in observing human behavior, not listening to what people say, but watching what people do, not intentions, not narratives, outcomes.
The red pill to me, anyways, it's the praxeology of intersexual dynamics. When we are talking about the red pill, we are just talking about factual absolutism. I mean, we're just saying what is true and what is not true. Praxeology, outside of sort of the economics definition, there's two definitions. There's the economics definition, and then there's the classical Greek definition, which is a praxeology is the study of human behavior, in that human behavior has purpose, has intent, there's a reason why we do those things. It's not about good. It's not about evil. It's not about what's right, what's wrong. It's not even about what's best practices. It's just getting to the point, finding out why we do what we do. And in the red pill sense, that's about intersexual dynamics. It's about male nature, female nature, evolutionary psychology, sociology, neurology, endocrinology. How many ologies do we have, you know? And so, yeah, it's a very, very broad spectrum, because when you think about how many ways intersexual dynamics crosses into all these like subfields. When people ask me, they say, well, what's the red pill? Give me the elevator pitch for the red pill. There is no elevator pitch for the red pill because it's like a college major.
Yes.
It's not a bumper sticker. It's not something you just slap on the back of your car and say, I'm red pill, right? So when I'm talking about red pill, I'm talking about like empirical, factual absolutism about the things that are, not the things that should be.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is right now, there's too many people who want to jump into this space and say, this is what should be. So I don't talk about best practices. I talk about what is.
Because human.
Now, I didn't know about the white pill thing there, red pill, black pill, blue pill. Yeah, I heard about that. White, purple pill. Here's where I am with it, man. For me, it's just a study of human nature when it comes to basically everything, but with an emphasis on relationships, intersexual dynamic, mate choice, all that. And I just look at it and accept it for what it is. And it can be dark, right? It can be dark. When you look at it, it's like, man, it's an uncomfortable truth. That's why you keep hearing that stuff, bro. It's like, wow, this is what people are doing. Man, they go, you talk about gold diggers, right? Then you talk about the good girl, and you talk about everything in between, and then you begin to see how much overlap there is between the two. There are no absolutes. Same thing with the dudes, right? So it's a dark truth when you got to sit there and tell a guy that no matter how hard you try to be a good guy, no matter how hard you try to be this morally straight dude, just whatever, you're not going to get her until you exhibit some bad boy traits. It is what it is. You telling me I gotta be an a-hole? Like, I didn't say that. I'm just saying you need to exhibit some of these traits, even if you're just acting like you're trying to get her. If that's who you want, right? You want to start this process. This is what you're gonna need to do, because acting like Urkel ain't gonna get you there. You got to act like what was the alter oak Urkel, Stefan or whatever it was. You got to be that dude to get her attention. And then you better begin your process of vetting and figure out who she is and paying attention and learning. Because it's just the beginning. So that's how I look at it. When I look at the red pill, when you're talking about relationships and dating, that's how I look at it. When I look at the red pill, when you're talking about politics and finance, bro, the 1% controls it. Cody says it's something else, right? He says it's a different group of people, right? I'm saying it's the 1%ers, right? It's the people at the very top have all the influence and all the money, so they're going to get the laws to benefit them. Even the laws that benefit the bottom 99, it has to be approved by the 1%, and they'll do everything they can to make that happen, short of buying votes, because they can't actually buy votes. That's still illegal, but that might change one day. They may get the 1%ers of people who make over a certain amount of money. Their vote may become weighted. Their vote might be the same as 1,000 regular people votes or whatever. So that could happen one day. And if it were to happen, I would take the red pill lens on that and be like, yeah, saw it coming. So a lot of people they get upset when they hear red pill. And, like, oh, you just hate women, you just misogynist and da-da-da-da. It's like, nah, I'm just a student of the game. And I'm going to accept what I see. I'm not going to accept necessarily what you tell me it should be. Like, you're telling me if I'm a good guy, that I'm going to go out here and I'm going to be able to get the good girl and we're going to live happily ever after. While at the same time, I understand that good guys finish last. So how can both be true? Well, because he didn't find the right one. That woman who he married and had children with and divorced him and took half his stuff, that wasn't the right one. Oh, okay. So you should just do it again. Right? You should just go through it again. And all right. So when I look at it, you look at the numbers, you look at what's going on with marriage and divorce and all that. It's like, well, just mitigate that. The family law system really hurts the people who have. And right now, men tend to get hurt. Well, historically, men are the ones who've been getting hurt. Now women are making more money. Give it a few more years, you're going to start seeing this in the family law system, and women are going to do something about it. Like, no, I'm not going to pay that guy child support and alimony. He needs to go to work. Well, y'all wasn't saying that about these women. So that's me. That's my take on it. But again, that was a really good breakdown of every color, red through white. Right? He's talking about red pill, blue pill, what was it? White pill, purple pill. That was a really good breakdown. So again, shout out to the medium man.
Beings reveal their priorities through their actions, not their claims. Today, a red pill, not the label, not the controversy, but the patterns. Because once you see the patterns clearly, you can start watching outcomes.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Make sure y'all go over there if you haven't already and support Medium Man. Dude puts out amazing content, great information. And then you go back and check his work, and you realize
Say
he's
they
correct.
reject
Like,
the
oh,
red
man, he's
pill.
correct.
They describe it as toxic, misogynistic, bitter, or rooted in insecurity. But praxeology doesn't evaluate emotional reactions. It observes behavioral consistency. Because regardless of what people say publicly, behavior continues privately, and behavior reveals the truth.
Ross, what do we really want?
Care what they want. I care what they respond to. See, my focus is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm not an academic, I'm not a theoretician. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond to?
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for. I wrote my book for the average looking, even ugly guy who goes out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
So no more Mr. Nice Guy.
You can be pleasant. You see, we got to define our terms. By nice, I mean accommodating. When you accommodate, you get what the commode gets. You get the crapola.
When Kevin Samuels was alive, he revealed something important. He said that many high-profile men, athletes, entertainers, executives, men with real-world experience would privately tell him that he was correct. They agreed with the patterns. They recognized the reality. But they also said they could never say it publicly because they had reputations to maintain. That distinction matters because it reveals the gap between public narrative and private behavioral awareness.
Private behavioral awareness, man. Same thing with Fresh and Fit. And I'll use Fresh and Fit a lot because I had inside knowledge. I was there. I got to see a lot from the inside looking out, in that camp. But I'm telling you, you will go out in Miami or in Texas. I mean, we were in Dallas once. You could be wherever you are. And a lot of guys will come up to you. And these aren't the guys who I call the bottom 80 or the invisible men. Nah, these are dudes who are successful, who understand the game, who are good with women. They'll come up, they'll slide in, shake your hand like, yo, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're right about these things, man. Keep doing it. But, then a producer or someone say, hey, you want to be on the show? Like, nah, I can't be on the show, man. I got too much to lose. But you guys are right when you're talking about the dating stuff, which is what I talk about all the time. When Myron talks about today's dating marketplace, he ain't wrong. When he's talking about politics, I don't deal with that. That's over there. I don't deal with that. But when he's talking about the sexual marketplace, man, I'm pretty much right there with him. Especially like these days, I'm probably like 80% with him. When he's just talking about the up and down, this is what it's like that guy that was just on that TV show or whatever way back in the day. Here's a guy who's, like he said, like, I'm ugly. I don't have those traditional good looks that women want. And he's like, well, what do women, he's like, what do women want or whatever? And the way he was saying, I don't care what they say. I only react to what they do. I don't care what they say. They say they want this, that, and the third, but really to be successful, you need to be this. And basically, don't be nice. But he did do a good job of explaining it. He's not saying go out there and don't be an a-hole. But if you go out there and just be nice, just like he said, you're gonna get your face kicked in. It's gonna be ugly, bro. You're gonna get hurt. Like, you're gonna wish you got beat up physically because it's gonna hurt emotionally. But the minute you realize, like, man, the guys who are doing well, like the guys who are getting the women, these are the ones that the women say are assholes. These are the ones that women say that he's a narcissist. These are the ones that women say that he's a player. Women know these things. Oh, you a player. Like someone like Dan Bilzerian. Women that say all these things about, I would never be with this guy. I would never do this. I would never do that. Then they get him there in person. They get to actually meet him. Next thing you know, they wake up at his crib. You know what I mean? They wake up in his bed. Like, what happened to all that? I would never, right? And the way I look at the red pill is like, that's just how it is. And then people are like, well, why do you think it's that way? Like, I don't care. I don't care why it's that way. It is that way. I don't care. Right? If you go walking through the swamp, you're probably going to get bitten by an alligator. So how do you mitigate this? Don't go walking through the swamp. And if you go through the swamp, man, take some weapons. Like, that's how I deal with it. I'm not going to sit there and like, well, it shouldn't be this way. Right? So again, my version of the red pill. But this is very important, man. Again, this is a great breakdown.
Awareness. Recently, rapper Wale appeared on Club Shay Shay and described a situation where a woman expected him to buy her an expensive designer bag. As he explained why that expectation didn't make sense, he paused and he immediately said, "That sounds kind of red pillish."
I remember a long time ago, I was talking to this one girl, and I don't know, man. I didn't think nothing was gonna happen from it, but it was whatever. We on the phone, whatever. Like third conversation, she brought up a bag, and I'm like, oh, you got me confused with one of these that don't got no charisma or no nothing, no conversation, and they pay you in bags for your time. Like I know, not you know what I'm saying? Like none of that on this side, and that's what I think that people think it is now. Like these women. Not because that sounds very red pillish.
That sounds very red pillish. That sounds very red pillish.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like there seems to be like a certain standard
of expectation
that people like base their whole personality off of. Me, if I like somebody, I'm paying for dinner, I'm paying for like. But like,
I got you.
You talking about bags and all that, girl? You better what you mean? Like grocery bag, like, bro? Because I just feel like I got way more to offer than just buying shit for somebody.
Yes.
That moment wasn't ideology. It wasn't indoctrination. It was instinct before social conditioning intervened. Cam Newton provided another example. He made comments suggesting that women lose their value with age or multiple children.
The reality of that answer is women's value get lower the more children that they have. And I was having this conversation, with one of the mother of my children, and she's still fine. But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you. Because when I came into your life, I was willing to accept you and whatever you had. And
as a Gen Xer, bro, the stuff that they're talking about right here, these two things that the Medium Man is highlighting, it's been the game, for as long as I've been in the game. You understand? Like you dealing with women with children, like single mothers, that was day one. You had a choice to make. And I didn't know anything about red pill or anything like that. I didn't know anything about blue pill. That was just the reality of growing up where I grew up. Like I told you guys before, I was in elementary school and there was a girl there who was pregnant in our school, one of our students. So this is just this was our reality. So it didn't bother me to deal with or meet a woman. And it's not like I would have been shocked by the fact that she had kids, especially once I became a young adult. It didn't shock me. However, the red pills thing, and I didn't know it was called red pill, but I wasn't going to marry a woman with a child when I didn't have any kids. And if I'm seeing a woman with children, we can have a really good relationship, but it's only going to go so far. I was like, I'm not getting married. No, I'm not doing that. DL Saint's not doing that, but it was plenty of other dudes who would. And it's based on what Cam Newton was saying right there. Right? It's like you have to accept all that. Now, once I became a parent myself, I failed in my mission to find a woman, have a child, and have a family. I screwed that up because why do I say it was me? Because as a man, you always got to take responsibility for your situation. If you're in a situation, you're in it because of you. Something you did got you there, right? But once that was the case, I became a single dad. Okay. I can get into a committed relationship with a woman who has children, and then the whole blending family thing kind of makes sense. It's like, yeah, I would not rule out this woman from marriage. But this is a serious but. If her kids are younger than my kids, I ain't marrying her. Like, your kids got to be my age or older, preferably older, in order for us to get married. That is what I was doing. We got brother Ian in the building. What's happening, fam? Good to see you. Wrong button. I hit. No, I wanted to give you the Don DeMarco. That's why I do the Don DeMarco to you for the $20 super chat.
Don DeMarco.
Appreciate you, bro. It's like on your work break, man. What up? Hey, man, we in here chilling, man. I see you working, man. Stack that bread, bro. Stack that bread. As childish as Cam is, he be spitting some facts. Yeah. Cam Newton, he know the game, bro. And I mean, he could do what he wanted to do. That guy's at the tip of the spear. It's all these women say, again, not what you say, but what you do. All these women say all these negative things about Cam Newton, but guess what? If they had a legit shot at Cam Newton, they'll take it. I would say the vast majority of them would take it. Why? Because they will be taken care of. Period. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, that's the red pill truth. And then when the rapper dude was talking about meeting a girl, talking to the girl, and she's talking about get me a bag on the third conversation, right? And people are like, oh, this is new. They're asking for stuff like bags and stuff like that. No, it's not new. This was going on back in the day. We called them sack chasers. These were the young women who were going after the D-boys. They were going after the guys who had all that money. And they were doing the same thing. They wouldn't ask for a bag on the third phone call, but you best believe within a month or so, if you dating her, she's gonna want to go shopping. And the guys would do that. That's what the dudes would do. I'll take you shopping, girl. And that became their game. The guys would lead with that, leading with the wallet. And then, of course, she'll be messing with a D-boy and he'll get knocked, you know what I'm saying, have to go sit down, get arrested or whatever. He gone, she'll go get another one. And then every now and then she'll talk to a regular guy. I've had women holler at me, you know what I mean, holler at my family members. And then they would say something like, well, you know, if you want to be coming over here or if you want me to be dealing with you, you're going to have to pay one of them bills. And they'll point to the table. There's a phone bill there. There's a gas and electric bill, like utility bill there. There's the rent bill there. Like, you're going to have to pay one of them bills. And I would just laugh like, oh, we ain't doing that, shorty. Like, but this was going on back in the late 80s and the early 90s. This is not new, gentlemen. This is the thing. This has always been the thing. And what Medium Man is talking about is with the red pill, you just have to accept it. No one wants to say, oh, like, oh, boys, like, oh, that sound red pillish. It's because it's the truth. And that's all it is, man. The red pill is just a healthy dose of the truth.
There's guys that's out there that's just going to say, them ain't my kids. I want you. Well, that ain't how it works.
Now, let me address another uncomfortable but necessary truth. Some men will date single mothers. Some men will sleep with single mothers. Some men will spend time with single mothers. But internally, they may already know that they will never marry that woman.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
I'll tell you what I'll do, man. Marry a 40-year-old woman with somebody else's kids.
They enjoy the companionship. They enjoy the intimacy. But they do not intend to assume the stepfather role. Access is not commitment. Attention is not investment. And time is not always intention. This is why single mothers must protect themselves emotionally and strategically by aligning with men who demonstrate clear long-term intention. The response was immediate criticism. Women pointed out that he himself has multiple children with multiple women and framed it as hypocrisy.
I think that he is projecting, and he's talking about the women who've had his children.
Whoa.
Because
I would have definitely felt some kind of way if I had one of his kids.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he goes to different women.
Yeah, I think that's a self-value issue. He may want to get his brain checked. He did play football. So I'm just saying, he needs to go back home. And he was raised by his mother and his grandmother.
Yeah.
He had women that were strong in his life. So to even make statements like that is just so rude and so off. Women gain value when you have children.
That's the thing. When you sit down with no cameras on, one-on-one, talking to a woman, especially a woman who understands the world, especially like women who like came from my kind of background, or women who have had to work on their own, didn't have a strong family, whatever, they'll tell you truth. They're like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's crazy, but yeah, I get it. You know, like, I would love to have someone come in here and just take care of me and my children. That would be great. It would be great to walk into a situation where, you know, you're in a mansion somewhere or a penthouse, or, you know, your kids are flying private jets and you got yachts and stuff. Who wouldn't like that? And then you add to everything the technology of today with, you know, social media and everyone putting up these highlight reels, most of which are fake. And people are thinking, I want that. Everyone's always wanted what the Joneses have, man. You know what I mean? I want that. I want that. And these young girls, a lot of them, they got to get it. They want to ride in a Lamborghini. They want to fly in a private jet. They want to go to the nicest places in towns. They want to go on a shopping spree. And guess what? If they're dealing with a guy that has the money and all he wants is a little bit of time and a whole lot of intimacy, and she's okay with it, she's gonna do it. Like, I'll go ahead. I'm gonna talk about this later on, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But there's a woman out here in these, you know, social media trenches talking about, whenever a man deals with me, he has to pay me about $40,000 or $50,000 a month, and she's getting it, right? $40,000, $50,000 a month just for you to say that's my woman. What? We're definitely gonna break that down, man. I'm gonna show that to y'all so y'all can see it. And I'm looking about, and I'm like, okay, what does the guy really want? The guy wants intimacy, man, but he also wants to have a beautiful woman on his arm. And his woman has all the upgrades, right? The fillers, the fake breast, the BBL, the everything, the lipo. She has everything. Does she look good? Yeah, when she puts all the makeup and stuff on. And the guy wants her with him. But this is her thing. Like, if you want to be with me, you got to pay all this bread. You got to pay all this bread. $50,000 a month, man. It's like, I did the math, bro. It's like $1,600 a day. $1,600 a day just so you can be with this woman. What? Crazy, man. Donald J. DeMarco on the building. What's good, fam? You know what I mean? Like, just subtracted 10 years. Hey, you know, I like looking old, man. So when I got to do something, I'll do this, and people don't even recognize me, son. But I appreciate the comment, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I do this every now and then. You'll see, man. I'll shave because I ain't got nothing up here, man. So all I got to work with is right here. So you'll see. Sometimes I do the chin strap, right, the real thin beard. Sometimes I just do like just a goatee with no mustache. Sometimes I do a mustache only. You know, I just be, you know, switching it up. That's all I got to work with. But we live in an era, man, getting back to what we're talking about, we're living in an era where a woman can walk up to a guy and make financial demands in order to have a relationship. And bro, what's the red pill talk about? Today's relationships are transactional, right? That's like a red pill truth. And then you see the facts. But then when you have, you know, when you bring these facts up, so many women and a lot of dudes, the white knights, the blue pill guys, are going to come up and they're going to want to fight and be angry, and they want to say a bunch of mean things. But what they can't do, they can't say that that's not happening. It happens all the time.
But praxeology doesn't evaluate emotional arguments. It observes outcomes. Because despite the criticism, Cam Newton continues to have access. He continues to have options. Women continue to voluntarily associate with him, which reveals something important. Value in behavioral terms is not determined by criticism. It is determined by continued demand. If Cam Newton's value truly disappeared, access would disappear. Options would disappear. Opportunity would disappear. But when access remains, behavior reveals priority, not commentary.
So if y'all don't know, I'm the third one, and this is his sixth child. Someone said, ooh. Right, couldn't have been me. All right, until the rich nigga put that pressure on you. I could never be with nobody. Okay. Until $100 million start putting the pressure on you, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yo, I didn't know Lil Shorty was a comic. I didn't know that. I got to do some, was it Jazzy? I got to do some research. I want to check out some of her comedy. Just sounds like just standard urban comedy, though, man. Urban comedy is all about energy. If you get that energy swirling in the room, you can say anything and people are just going to have a good time. You know, the way our community gets down and the kind of comedy we're accustomed to is different than, you know, like the Asian world or, you know, the mainstream world, like white folks and all that. But the energy, though, if you just get that energy swirling in the room, you're going to have a good time. And that's what a lot of black comics rely on. They just get the energy up.
Because you'll never be. Bitch, you ain't never had. What you better do? Oh, you better than me? I am. What the hell?
This is the exact same reason why Cam Newton right now has 8 children with 3 different women. And we all know that women love social proof when men can show that they have the ability to get attractive women.
They're acting like girls want a dude that never got a girl.
Right.
That too.
Nobody wants.
Ain't one of them. You feel me?
You see what I'm saying? No female wants the dude.
You don't get no hoes, my nigga. You don't get no bitches. I'm out.
You see what I'm saying? But it's like, what woman wants a dude that can walk in the party and nobody say nothing?
She knows Future has a complex relationship history, yet she's celebrating the fact that he viewed her story. Why? Because his value isn't lowered by his past. It's reinforced by social proof. Others have already validated him.
Another example appears when you ask women a simple question. What do you value most in a man? The answers are kind of predictable. Character, kindness, respect, emotional connection. And those answers sound correct. They sound socially appropriate. They sound virtuous. But praxeology observes behavior under conditions of actual selection. And that's where you see a gap between stated preference and revealed preference. When attraction is on the line, patterns show up. Height matters, status matters, confidence matters, competence matters, and outcomes reveal priority. I remember listening to Dr. Jordan Peterson reference a psychological study where researchers measured involuntary physiological responses while participants were exposed to visual stimuli.
So the first time I heard about this study and studies like this was on Fresh and Fit when they were sitting around talking about it. And apparently, scientists got a bunch of women together, put them in a room, and they used electrodes and stuff like that to monitor their bodies, and they would show them things. So a woman would say, like, she would see a picture of something erotic, some crazy stuff going on, and she would say that, oh, that's disgusting, but her body would get sexually aroused. So, and they noticed that women would see things and they would get sexually aroused, but they would say that this stuff doesn't arouse me. Whereas same thing's going on with men. The men would see something, say, yeah, that's sex, that turns me on, and then boom, his body would correspond with that. So again, with women are worried about what's going on with the herd. They do tend to move as a herd, and they don't want to be outcast. And a lot of this has to do with the way we were, way back in the day, man. Like if you were outcast from the group as a woman way back when, thousands of years ago, you probably wouldn't survive. Whereas if the man got thrown out, but he was strong and, he could run fast and he knew how to make weapons and he can, go catch something and eat it, he would survive. So women had to rely on what the herd was doing and conform to what the people around them were doing, because that equals security. And that makes sense. Now, today, everyone is safe. Men have built a world that's really safe. So women don't have to really worry about that, but the programming is still there. And you just don't want to be seen as that person. So if the group is going towards a more loose, transactional, we're going to monetize our bodies kind of thing, then all the women, even the women who thinks that's disgusting, they're still going to go with the group and like, yay, girl power, but they're not going to do it themselves. But they will say that they back it or whatever, and they will lash out against those who challenge that narrative. I mean, it is what it is, man. Yeah, bro. It is what it is. They signed up for that. Like, y'all gonna put the wires where? Yeah, they signed up for that, bro. Let's keep going.
Of that research, and the reason he references it is that physiological response does not always perfectly align with what people say they prefer. The body can respond independently of social expectation, independently of stated belief, because attraction operates at multiple levels.
If you had to put a ratio on it, how much of your research focuses on women's desires as opposed to men's desires?
I'd probably put it at 80% women and 20% men. My research primarily focuses on female sexuality.
And why that ratio?
When I first started doing my research at Northwestern University as a graduate student, I was particularly interested in the question, an area of research that hadn't really been examined with women, which was the relationship between women's sexual interests and their patterns of sexual response in the laboratory. And there had been such a wealth of research done with men that this was a pretty glaring oversight. And since then, I've seen similar areas of research that really require a focus on women's sexuality at this point.
Well, can you give us, for example, one previously held misconception about women's sexuality that through your research you have helped to debunk?
Women do not get sexually aroused when they watch explicit erotica. This isn't a finding that's exclusive to my research, but it's been shown consistently over and over that women do have very strong physical responses to sexual stimuli. In particular, women show sexual responses to erotica that do and don't correspond with their stated sexual interests.
Why did we have the earlier?
So what do they mean? If she's watching girl on girl, or she's watching male on male, or whatever she's watching, it could be, monkey on, monkey on monkey. It could be like animals doing stuff. Yeah, she might get aroused. Is that every woman? No, but everyone would tell you like, no, that stuff doesn't turn me on, but yeah, it does. And then a lot of women love to read their erotica, those books that women read. And it's like almost every woman has a book with her because, like we are so smart. Like, what are you reading? I read a couple chapters in one of those books. I had a friend of mine that I was working with back in the days when I was in Cincinnati. And like, let me see that book. You always got that book. It was one of those fantasy love romance novels, man. Yo, it was adult content in print. That's all it was. Guys want to see it. The same stuff that dudes be watching in adult movies, they were reading in those books, just so you know.
Impression that it was the opposite.
I think that the earlier impression was probably formulated from intuition. You'd expect that somebody would show their greatest amounts of physical responding to things that correspond with what they say they like. But I think it was also that perspective was informed by the research that had been done with men that showed that there was a very strong relationship between the two. And I think that those findings were then extended to women. And with the research that I've done, it's shown that model of...
Ms. Meredith Chivers discovered something critical when studying attraction. When men said they were attracted to something, their biological response matched their words. But with women, it was different. What women said they were attracted to often did not match what their bodies actually responded to.
The conscious mind can express values, but the subconscious nervous system responds to perceived competence, confidence, and capability. This is not ideology, it's biology, and biology operates without regard for public narrative. Praxeology simply observes the outcome. And modern technology has made these patterns even more visible. Dating applications record behavioral selection in real time. Who receives attention, who gets ignored, who gets selected, and who doesn't.
There was a girl a couple months ago who came on this app and told Black women to change their race to white so that they could have better dating options. So I decided to test that theory on my Hinge yesterday.
So I just want to pause it real quick because what you guys are about to hear, when I heard this, it kind of blew my mind. And it's not the fact that certain types of women are more sought after on dating apps, just like certain types of men are sought after on dating apps. You know what I mean? Like white guys are at the top of that sphere. I think black guys are like second or third, I think. Somewhere in there. Like Asian guys aren't too high up there. And men accept these things like, oh, okay. That's just what it is. Just gonna have to run more numbers. So when you do the research, Asian women are at the top of that spectrum over there, and I think sisters are down towards the middle or bottom. So again, a guy would take this information, is like, okay, fine, and just keep running the numbers or find another way to source women. That's what a guy's gonna do. Like, okay, let's find a workaround. When you hear the workaround here, like this young woman saying, oh, someone made a video saying that Black women need to change their race to white and then hide their race and then upload that to the app so they can get more guys to look at them. And their workaround, their fix for this, that's what blew my mind.
You have the option to hide your race. So my race before was Black, it was hidden. And most of the options on my timeline were drug dealers, scammers, and just frankly men I have no interest in dating. So I changed my race to white, and suddenly, I'm getting Harvard graduates, real estate investors, financial advisors, football players, Black men, and good looking. Like where were y'all? But anyway, this is just me saying, if you want better options, change your race to white on these dating apps because they take us for a fucking joke.
So the workaround, the fix is hide your race and go out there and trick dudes on the app, right, into seeing you. But here's the thing: once they see you, that's not what they want. They're not going to deal with you. The question isn't where were you, man? Why are the apps hiding these men from us? The guys are putting preferences in there. They're looking for something different. The question should be why they're looking for something different. That should be the question. Like, what's going on? How come these dudes, how come the algorithms, which is just a machine, it's just computer code, why is the algorithm showing me drug dealers, Pookies and Ray Rays, these little Romy Romes? Why are they showing me this? And maybe the algorithm knows something about your personal preference or what you've been doing with your life. Maybe that's the case. But then to sit there and do this thing like, well, I'm trying to fool the algorithm so I can see more guys, Black guys. But it's like, do the Black guys want you? And if they don't, the question becomes why? Why? Right? And before they even get in person, bro, they're gonna have to show a picture on that app. The guys are gonna see the app and then they're gonna swipe the other way, like, no, I don't want that. Right? That's crazy. Don Mark was like, man, he's like, I'm white and really I don't mess with Black, Indian, or redheads. Just 0% into them for whatever reason. I mean, it's a preference, man. It is a preference. You like what you like. And then you have your personal history. Like if you're doing good with whatever you're going after, like you said, you don't mess with redheads. Man, I like messing with redheads, bro. Redheads are crazy, bro. Redheads, man. Ooh, boy, I love dealing with redheads, man. I love dealing with redheads.
Tell them, say, big up my girl, pan the side, cause of them flex the best.
Them redheads flex the best, man. When I was in AIT, I was in training to be an air traffic controller in the Army, there was a redheaded Black girl, in the company. Ooh, boy. She taught me a lot. Young girl, she taught me a lot. I learned the hard way. This is when being a good guy, being a nice guy doesn't work. I was able to smash little shorty because that's what she wanted to do. It's like, oh, did you smash her? Nah, she smashed me. But then she smashed me, and then she smashed some dude in the reserve unit that showed up because people were gearing up to go over to Desert Storm. Right? She smashed one of the NCOs. She was banging everybody. And here I am trying to fall in love with this girl and was willing to do anything, right? Which was dumb on my part. Of a lesson learned. I learned the hard way, but that lesson stuck.
There's this creator on here that said if you change your Hinge profile race to white or Asian and hide it, that your chances of getting likes on Hinge are significantly increased. And so I tested that theory last night. I wish I could tag her, but the video is been deleted. But I tested that theory last night. And sisters, she's not lying.
Am I the only one who saw the video of the young Black woman who changed her race on Hinge to get different matches?
Change your race to white or Asian, but hide it so when a man sees it.
She said it was experimental and it was just to test out the algorithm. But here's why I think this is a bad idea. Someone is intentionally filtering out Black women from their dating preferences. Why would you want to even match up with them?
Facts.
We need to let go of the desire of wanting to be chosen by people who are very loudly not choosing us.
Let me explain what actually happened. It wasn't that Hinge was hiding those Black men from you. Those men weren't looking for Black women in the first place. Dating apps learn from user behavior. If a man consistently swipes on women outside your race, the algorithm stops showing him women he's unlikely to choose.
These platforms reveal consistent selection patterns, not based on stated preference, but based on actual choice, because behavior cannot lie. Only words can. And this is where confusion often arises. Men who understand these patterns don't announce it. They don't debate it. They don't label it. They simply observe and adapt. They invest where reciprocity exists and withdraw where it doesn't. They move efficiently without explanation because results eliminate the need for argument. The red pill, as a praxeology, does not instruct men to hate women. It instructs men to observe behavior, understand incentives, and respond to reality, not narrative, because reality enforces its own rules, regardless of opinion. This is why the red pill cannot be canceled. The red pill will never die because it does not depend on agreement. It depends on observation. Attraction has never been democratic. It has always been selective. It has always been responded to competence, capability, confidence, and outcomes, not opinions, not narratives, outcomes. Men don't adapt based on what they are told. They adapt based on what produces results. Attention is data. Attraction is data. Rejection, data. Reciprocity, data. Men who observe data do not need ideology. They have feedback. This is why every generation eventually arrives at the same conclusions, not because they were taught, but because experience teaches them. Some learn early, some learn late. Some never learn, but reality remains consistent because reality does not require belief, only observation. And reality has no public relations department. It simply reveals itself to those who are willing to see it. And that is why red pill will never die. Peace.
Hey, shout out to the medium, man, because that breakdown right there, man, Don DeMarco. That breakdown right there is the best, most comprehensive breakdown I've ever seen in the space. And he does one on Blue Pill as well. Maybe we'll jump on that one day. But that was the best breakdown. Donald J. DeMarco, bro, talking about redheads. They called him fire in the hole. That, my friend, is funny. That you could tell that joke on stage and get a good laugh. Fire in the hole. That, bro, if you were a stand-up comic, I would tell you, like, bro, we need to sit down for 15 minutes and structure out a good 12 to 16 minute bit around that right there. Fire in the hole. My goodness. And they are fire in the hole. They are. I mean, and I had a black girl who was a real redhead, bro. The drapes did match, you know what I'm saying, the carpet. She was a real redhead. And this was back in the day before the crazy color hair and too much in the way of weave and all that. She just had short red hair. Where was she from? She was from somewhere in the Midwest, man. Fiery little thing, man. Of course, her nickname was Red. You know, and again, I would think that I think that interaction with Red, because you gotta understand, I just got out of high school. I didn't have a whole lot of experience. Right. I'd been with a woman once in middle school and once in high school. So Red was like my third. You know what I'm saying? Like that, she was like the third woman I've ever been with. And man, I was all into her. Why? Because I was talking to her back in the company area, in her ear, blah, 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 whatever. Looking at her, checking her out. She was talking to me. She was talking real sweet. In her mind, she's just waiting for the weekend. Hey, man, when the weekend rolls around, we get the weekend pass, I'm going to go holler at dude. I know what I'm doing. She knew what she was doing. I didn't know what I was doing, in the sense that I'm just trying to fall in love, right? Be 100 with it. She was just trying to get it in. She got it in, and she moved on to the next one. And in her mind, she was thinking that I was like her. She was thinking I was a player. She was thinking I knew what I was doing. Why? Because my game was solid just because of where I came from. But I really didn't have the experience. So I'm out here talking the talk, but I wasn't really walking the walk. You feel me? So it was her. That happened. And I, got my little heart broken or whatever. And then 2 weeks later, I'm with a grown woman in the unit, a retread, and she really put me on game. I talked about her before on one of these shows. I was talking about her. She put me on game. She was married. She told me about credit. She told me about the importance of credit. She talked about different accounts that you should have, like for savings and stuff like that, bro. This is, again, I'm right out of high school. And then she took me to the hotel room that she paid for. She took me out to dinner. She took me shopping. All this happened that same weekend. She took me shopping, got a hotel room. She was explaining credit cards and the importance of credit cards. Got me into the room. She was like buying lingerie, and she was like asking me, did I like this or did I like that? So at the store, I'm a kid. I didn't know why she was doing all that. And we get back to the hotel, she's putting the lingerie on. Oh, that's why she was doing that. bro, in the shower, like it was, man, look, that was the most intense, mini relationship I ever had. But after that encounter, man, I don't forget about fire in the hole. Like, I don't even know what happened to her. I saw the whole world differently. It all lined up for me. Like, oh, I get it now. Again, that's like red pill. I didn't know what red pill was, but that's the red pill. You look at this woman paying for everything, taking me out. She's the one that walked up to me. She was interested in me. She was hollering at me, spending money on me, right? Doing all that. And bro, I don't even want to get into the details, but it was a lot of firsts. It was a lot of firsts with this woman. She taught me what's really going on. So in that situation, red would be the blue pill, and little shorty, the married woman, would be the red pill. As far as relationships, I got to see how it really went. And think about it. This is a married woman doing all these things with me. And I'm like, wow. So I had to recalibrate my thinking on marriage. She never got caught. She never will get caught. And then you think about it, like, how many other dudes did she teach? Maybe none. Maybe 50. You don't know. And it doesn't matter. Right? What matters is accepting what you see. And even with all that experience and learning these things, when you're young, you're still going to make mistakes. You still going to let your emotions out too soon on the wrong women, and you're going to go through it. This is why I always preach it over here. Keep your emotions in check. Do not let your emotions out until you are sure she's the one. You vetted her. You're well into that vetting process. You see what she's doing for you. Then begin to let your emotions out. And I would like to say, just let them out a little bit, but ain't no such thing. Once you open the door, that's it. It's a flood. Your emotions come out, they come out. So keep your emotions in until you know until you know that she's the one for you, or at least that she's worthy of your emotions. Because once you let your emotions out, the game does change a little bit. It makes it harder to see, right? But again, if you really want to win, you really trying to be the prize, you got to find that woman, man. Once you find the right woman, then both of you become the prize. If you guys are separate, I hate to be the one to tell you, like, I don't think anyone's the prize. You just out here doing your thing. You making money doing your thing. That's great. She's making her money doing her thing. That's great. But if you really want to be the prize, you got to come together with that one and do the damn thing. That's my take on that. But man, shout out to Medium Man. What a good video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to keep this one to an hour. I might be back on later tonight. It depends on what my daughter does. It's Friday. Normally I take her to her mom's, but she's been staying home over the past couple of weekends. So we'll see what she's going to do. I think she's going to stay home this weekend. If she stays home this weekend, I'll jump on and do another video. I want to do this video about Americans being underpaid. So, and like talk about some financial stuff. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time we talk about some manosphere stuff, maybe we'll break down his video on the blue pill stuff. Maybe we'll do that. But I don't think people need to know what blue pill is. I think folks inherently understand what blue pill is. No, I think the next video we'll do is that girl who's getting $50,000 a month from her boyfriends. $50,000 a month, man. Crazy, crazy work. So I didn't do the intro, so I'm not going to do the outro. So what I'm going to do is pull up, we'll just write out on more video from Lost in Translation. And like I said, man, make sure you guys are going over there to subscribe. Lost in Translation podcast. It has all the music up. And it's great stuff, man. Like powerful, moving. So let's ride out on one of the videos, man. Let me go down here and find one. We just listened to Put Your Foot Up in It. We listened to that. That was cool. Here's one right here. Call him if you want it. We're gonna ride out with this video, guys. Call him if you wanna. Just have a good day. Hope the rest of your Friday goes well. I might be back tonight. I'll definitely have a video up tomorrow, even if it's just a pre-recorded one. just to keep the algorithm happy. You got to feed the beast. Y'all know what I'm saying. And shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate your time. Thanks for rocking out with me. I'm DL Saint. We're about to listen to Lost in Translation. Check this out.
Go on and go on and dial him up, see if he answers. I ain't the type to beg or replay old chances. He sees the highlight reel, the smile, the soft romances, but not the chapters written in the quiet circumstances. He don't know the nights the silence turns to thunder, the words you swallow whole when you're falling under. The armor that you wear, the door you keep concealed, the part of you that hurts but never wants to yield. I'm just saying, let him search for every key, not just the party, but the truth that sets you free. Not just the surface, the filtered and the fair, but the midnight confession that needs somebody there. Call him if you wanna, call him if you want. I ain't your warden, I'm your man. I ain't your warden, he gon' have to earn you. He gon' have to understand you off the weight you sometimes can't. Call him if you wanna, call him if you want. I won't stand in your way, I won't stand in your love. Ain't just a picture, it's the canvas and the pain and the day. He gon' be the ghost that shows up when you're anxious. Learn the art of quiet when the quiet feels contagious. See the blueprint of the walls you built to stand, the garden you protect with tight, careful hands. This ain't a threat, it's the truth we never mention. Love is a climb, not a sudden ascension. It's messy and real, the language you learn, the fire that warms and the places it burns. So go ahead, choose the path that feels right. I just hope he can hold you through the night, through the battles and thorns, the sun and the shade, the deaths of the past and the choices we made. To be your choice, not just a familiar voice. If he's the future you seek, then I'll find peace in the weed. But promise you'll listen, past the shine and the glisten. Lord lives in the work, not the easy, the purr. Call him if you wanna, call him if you wanna. I'm not here to raise my hand. He gon' have to learn you. He gon' have to learn you. The woman, not the MET bag. Call him if you wanna. Call him if you wanna. I hope he treats you right. I hope he treats you right. Real love is forth in the trenches, in their forgiveness in the fight.
Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your support. And if you like that video, check out this one or maybe that one. We'll see you around. Peace.